Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm Sam Karen, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives and teach us how to become spiritual beings. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and customs in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne to God, it ain't gonna stop me. It ain't gonna stop me. Y'all know y'all miss me. How you doing out there? Word to the OGB Scott. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, we come to you as humbly as we know how to just say thank you. Thank you, God, guardian ancestors, and thank you for waking us up this morning. Now, God, give us the information that you deem worthy for us to hear in this life. At this time, allow no room for doubt or confusion. Woo, y'all. I almost blanked. I'm not going to try to push it this first week back. I think I'm going to try to tiptoe in because I'm not going to overdo it. Not going to overdo it. I promise myself that. Ooh, play and harmony. The two cards that came out is play and harmony. And the message that I get right away is that God is saying that we're in this time where he just wants us to just have fun. Don't take life so seriously. I know for me, my whole structure, and I just had to kind of remind myself of this a couple of weeks ago. The reason why I was doing all those honest chats is because I really wanted to, not only build community within Honestly Sis, but I really wanted to connect to other people. I wanted to just be super focused and, have these things to do. But I was only doing them because if you realize it says the fall and if you realize it says Honestly Sis, the winter session, and that's because for the spring and the summer, I just want to have fun. I actually have not had a really good summer in a very, very long time. And I'm just I'm owed this. I am owed a good summer. And so I don't plan on doing any honest chats until the fall again. And so it's I know I'm committed to just having fun, doing things I've always wanted to do. I feel like God is saying that we should all be that way because that's really going to put us into harmony with the things that we really desire. I keep telling you guys, we're no longer in the divine masculine way. The divine feminine is just all about riding the waves. It's all about energy. It's all about attracting things to you. And so God's saying a really good way to attract a lot of life changes, whether it's a new job, it's a new man, it's really to just go out, have fun, forget about it, okay? But don't take my word for it. I'm actually going to go into our money and law of attraction deck to just see if I can get us a tool to really bring this card home and to really clarify this message for us. All right, dear God, guardian angels, clarify this message of play and harmony. What are you trying to get us to understand about play and harmony? Why is it so important to just go have fun, to not take life so seriously? And how does that get us closer to our goals? In God's name I pray. Give us just one tool, allow no room for doubt or confusion. Ashe. All right. We're going to take the top card. And the top card is, I am always receiving the essence of what I'm giving. And so before I even go into what this means, angel number 333, I can tell you right away, if you are always receiving the essence of what you're giving, if you're having fun, then that means that what you're going to get back is just more fun and for more fun energy. More things are going to be more in harmony, right? But if you're stressed out, if you're, just doing it every day, you're just trying to get by, then what you're going to get back is frustration and getting by. Also, I remember, I don't know what interview this was, but Big Sean was just talking about how he realized he wasn't really having fun making music, and he was he realized that's why what he was getting back was it was becoming more, the industry was becoming hard, and he, stuff wasn't really moving the way he wanted it to move. But the minute that he started having fun again and just took it back to the basics, things start changing, and he, platinum after platinum. So, I know that's definitely something that I'm starting to do. I really am trying to get out of that whole, how many people are reading my newsletters? How many people trying to get people to come find me and join Honestly Sis? This year I'm just really focused on being a writer and writing and being consistent in that and finishing my book. I just don't care about nothing else. And it's fun. Like I have been feeling so good, and I think it's because of what I'm putting into it. And so let's go to the card and see what more it says. Appreciation and love and alignment to that which is source is the ultimate giving back, so to speak. For in your pain or struggle, you have nothing to give. What you are living is always an exact replication of your vibrational pattern of thought. Nothing could be more fair than life as you are living it. For as you are thinking, you are vibrating. And as you are vibrating, you are attracting. So you are always getting back the essence of what you are getting. And so what God is saying is that if you want to change your life, how you change your life is not sit your ass on a computer or read a whole bunch of YouTube videos thinking about how to change your life. You just actually go out there and you start changing your life, and you actually start, setting up practices and principles in your day that makes you feel good, that makes you have joy, that makes you feel like you're playing. Like we've all heard that saying that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, which, give or take, I don't think that that's true, because I feel like in everything that any job, especially when you find a way to capitalize on what you love, I feel like there's just going to be parts that you don't like. So I just think we should get out of that mindset of thinking that everything is going to be easy, but things should feel playful. Like things should feel good. I can't explain it, but it's not this word that I can put to it, but I know Oprah talked about it a lot. But like when I'm writing my articles for Honestly Sis, like matter of fact, the article that I did yesterday for Honestly Sis, like it surprised me so much. Like it really, how you think that you're writing about something else and the article became something else, it evolved, and like it really made me feel good. And like once I read it, like y'all, I was in here like yelling, screaming, jumping, like it like literally just, it feels good. Like I just can't explain it, but like I mean, and honestly, that's been happening a lot this year. Like I've just really been feeling my articles. Like I really love them. Like I've really been seeing and it's not just the articles and like what I'm saying, but I think it's the writing. Like I'm starting to see the evolution in my writing. I'm starting to find my writing style, and it just feels good. And I feel like when it feels good, like I feel like that's how you signal to the universe, like this is what I want. And like every time I do it, I'm like, oh God, please let me do this for a living, because it just feels so fucking good, And so what God is saying is that when you can find a way to like build your day around moments like that every single day, try to find like some way to get that feeling, get that signal up to the universe, eventually you'll look up in that feeling that, oh, I wish this was my life, will become your life. Okay. The other card that God gave us to go with this message under harmony is I can make a career of living happily ever after. I love this. A very good career choice would be to gravitate towards those activities and to embrace those desires that harmonize. Come on, come with the T's. Come on, God. Listen to this. Harmonize with your core intentions. Remember, we had harmony come out and it says, a very good career choice would be to gravitate towards those activities and to embrace those desires that harmonize with your core intentions, which are freedom and growth and joy. Make a career of living happily ever after, rather than trying to find work that will produce enough income that you can do the things with your money that will then make you happy. So let me stop before I even finish this. It says, make a career of living a life rather than trying to find work that will produce enough income that you can do the things with your money that you would then make you happy. So what this is pretty much saying is you're not trying to find a job just so that you can have a vacation, so that you can be able to, go to all different islands on a weekend. But what God is saying, you really want to find and it's not even, because it says career in quotation marks. So what God is just really saying is, find your thing. Find the thing that you really like to do, that you really love to do, and just focus on that. Put your attention on that. Like, allow that to give you joy. Allow that to fuel your day-to-day life. And then what God is saying is that He'll figure out a way for you to make money. I think a lot of us get fucked up when it comes to dream chasing and, going after our dreams. Like, I'm not even I keep saying that in quotation marks, because at this point in my life, angel number 939, it's bullshit. Like, Anybody who is out here talking, I'm dream chasing, I'm going after my dreams, they ain't been in it long enough. Because once you realize that you've been in it for like 5-7 years, you ain't going after your dreams. You just trying to live fucking life. You just try to find a way to be content in this motherfucker. You're doing self-care. Like, that's what the fuck dream chasing is. It's a form of self-care. Like, actually, I was so grateful for our honest chats. The very last one we did, it was all about self-care. And like, I was talking to these ladies, and then I just realized, I'm like, you know what? Like, I used to put myself on this high pedestal, like, oh, I have this newsletter and I'm working on this book and I'm doing all these great things because I'm dream chasing. I'm going after my dreams. And I realized, like, this is just actually just self-care. Like, I'm really just doing the things that make me happy. And I hope at the end of the day, I can earn a living doing this. Like, I hope that I can be good enough that, somebody will give me money, or I can create a business around me just sitting here writing letters and telling stories. Like, that's what I eventually want to do, because that's what makes me feel good. That's what I only can imagine. That's probably how LeBron feels, playing basketball, or how a nigga feel rapping. Like, it just fucking feels good. Like, I can't explain it. And I realized, like, I just mentally made this shift in my mind where I'm like, I don't want to fucking be a TikTok star. I don't want to be a YouTube star. I don't want to go viral. I want to be a writer. I want niggas to know me for my writing. Like, I just want to do that. And it was like, once I mentally made that, I mentally said it, and then I said it out loud. Then I came across this clip from, I think it's called, what is it called? Impact Theory. It was their clip on their IG page, and it was just like, the key to become great is that you just pick your one thing and you become undeniable. You become so good that people can't deny you. And I tell you guys this all the time. Like, if I just wanted to just write a book, and just to say I wrote a fucking book, I could have stopped 3 drafts ago and just put some shit up on Amazon and then be like, hey, I'm an author. But I want to make the greatest book that has ever been written. I want to come from fucking Shakespeare head. Like, I really, really want to make a really good book. Like, it's not enough for me to just, like, make a book and just, like, I want to make the book that Little Am has always been dreaming about. And I realized, like, when I really think about, like, all these different elements, like, this is my dream book in one. Like, this is Jackie Collins, J.K. Rowling, and fucking not even Stephen King. Honestly, just Jackie Collins and fucking J.K. Rowling put into fucking one. It's some fucking true crime podcast and J.K. Rowling's thrown into it. Like, this is what I like to do. And it feels so good. And like, honestly, okay, I'm gonna stop after this because I'm gonna finish this card. But like, so I told y'all every morning I have been, like, every hour for the first top of the morning, I've been typing up my book. And the crazy thing is, now knowing y'all, I've been working on this book for almost 7 years at this point. Maybe it's, 5-7 years, somewhere in there. And like, y'all, I know this story like the back of my hand. I have written this shit. I have done all of these things, but like, I'm typing up this, and I'm like so excited because like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And oh my God, I can't wait to see this part. And it's just, because it's like, even though I wrote it, it's like, it's different from, me writing it, and then like I'm typing it and I'm reading it, and it's just, I know y'all like, girl, we don't know shit about writing, but I know it sounds corny, but it's just exciting. And I feel like what God is saying is that you have to find that thing that makes you excited. You have to find that thing that makes you get up every morning and do it no matter what anybody else is doing. And honestly, the last thing I'm going to say is I had ran across this thing on IG, of course. And it was this clip from this Dr. Maya Angelou, this Paris Review article. And she was just like, all this hemming and hawing about what you got to do to write and finding them. You just get the fucking work done. You just do it. And when I read that, I put that on my phone, and it's just like, it was like a mindset shift where it's like, you're right. You just get the fucking work done. Because I think I told y'all this, but so my process is that I write like free, like literally I have like 7 notebooks that I have written freehand. And then like I did the part 1 of my book, and then I had to type all that up. And like, there was a part of me that's like, am I self-sabotaging myself? Age number 14, 20. Like, am I making this unnecessarily hard on myself? But the result and like, just, how good the book is flowing, I'm like, no, like the process is the process. And like, when I just realized, like, I just have to every day just do it. Like, it don't matter what it takes. It don't matter about how many notebooks I got to type up. This is my process. This is what's helping me get the story out the best. So I have to do what it takes. And the thing is, like, now it doesn't feel like work. It's fun. It's exciting. Every single night, every morning, every night, I'm like, I have to stop myself. Like, yesterday, I had to stop myself from reading that article from Honestly Sis again. Cause I'm like, girl, no, like, you read it enough. Like, put it down. Or like, every morning, I'm excited to be like, ooh, like, what part am I about to type up? And so it's like, I feel like because I'm excited about what I'm doing and like what I'm creating, I noticed that when I do have to do something for work or when somebody does ask me for something, my energy is totally different. Like, I'm like, oh, sure. Like, I'm like, low-key was probably the best employee these last 2 weeks because I just been so happy and I've been in such a good writing groove. And so it's like, now I'm not worried about, every time I get to that part of like, oh my God, how is this going to sell? Or who? And I just be like, that's not the part. You're not there yet. Right now, you're working on a book. Right now, you're putting the book together. Worry about all that distribution, all that shit later. Right now, you just got to worry about a book. Let God do everything else. And that's what God is trying to say. He's like, just have fun with this. It's not about you, figuring out, well, what side hustle can I do to be? No, just figure out what you like to do. Nigga, there are people that literally have businesses making sandwiches. Now we got businesses going grocery shopping for us. If you would have said this 5-10 years ago, nobody would even think these businesses are possible. So it's like, stop thinking about, well, how can I make money off of this? And just focus on having fun. Focus on what makes me feel like I'm playing. What makes me feel like, what do you get lost into? And go do that. The last thing that this card says is, when feeling happy is of paramount importance to you and what you do for a living makes you happy, you have found the best combination of all. And I told you guys last year, I made this decision that I'm not going to do anything that start with a should. I should do this. I got to do this. No, if should come up in a sentence, I'm not fucking doing it. Like, cause I shouldn't do a goddamn thing. I ain't got to do a goddamn thing. Like, and being happy is the most important thing for me. And I feel like when you start moving in that energy of love, when you start moving in that energy of, I just want to do what makes me feel good, I really truly feel like the world will open up for you. And so I feel like, and look, it comes not by magic, but by universal law. So what God is saying is that if you really have been, you're in this place where you don't like your job, where you're not happy. Nigga, I've been there. Please go to Honestly Sis. Let me stop doing these shameless plugs. But no, if you're in this place where you don't like your job, you don't like, how you're spending your time, you don't see yourself doing this for the next 5-10 years, instead of going to just randomly apply to shit, I really want you to like spend this spring and this summer just having fun, like getting back in touch with your young, your youthful, your playful side. Think about like what you used to do the best place to start is to think about what you used to do as a kid. Like I used to be one of them kids that used to read. I used to keep my nose in a book. I literally read my fucking middle school out of a fucking library. Like I was a voracious reader. And like now I know a lot of that shit was out of self-protection. Like now I see what it is. Like that's how you survived. You kept your ass in the book so you could be somewhere else. Because I didn't like my environment. I didn't have the best childhood growing up. And so I would get lost in these worlds. And so reading saved my life. But then, I started reading again, but then it was like, I can't read for a living. Can I read maybe you can. Shit, let me not say that. Because you can earn a living doing whatever you love. So I was like, okay, I realized like, okay, I love reading. And what happened was I was reading so many books that I was just like, now this is very arrogant of me, but I was reading a lot of books and I was just like, the books was trash. Like and honestly, and I'm saying this because I'm being honest, but they were like New York Times bestsellers. Like I was, what book is getting acquired? What book is getting turned into a movie? What book is number one on the New York Times bestseller list? Like that's how I, find my books. And I found myself like for like almost for like 2 or 3 years, like every time I would read this book, like it will either start off really good and then it will end just like Jillian, I ain't calling the authors out, but there's a lot of authors that was like, you can get a book started and you get to the end and it's like, like it just dies. And so I would like read all of these books that were like getting acquired and New York Times bestsellers. And I'm like, these books are not good. Like, they're not good books. I just really was like, how fucking hard could it be to make a book? And I got it. And then I thought about when I was a kid and how it's on the B2K fan page all the time, angel number 1936. And I told myself, I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna write a fucking book. And of course, you know, there's a whole story about how that book came about. You know, of course, it wasn't just like I said I was gonna write a book and then my story idea came. Like, I tried, and like a lot of failed attempts, you know, and then eventually Whitney Houston passed and blah, the book was born. And so I say all that to say, like, it was a process. Like, I had to really just keep with it. So I say that to say, like, if this summer, this spring, you start to try to do that and you're like, oh, well, I want to write a book, and it's not coming to you, got to stick with it. You have to be, just like how it says, when being happy, when finding that thing that you love become paramount, like becomes the most important thing to you, the universe will start to send you clues. And like, for me, what happened was that I was around my ex, and he is super into, you know, he's super into music. And like, I would see how he would just like spend like all this time, you know, working on albums or working on this. Well, at the time he was rapping. So like working on these music, putting these albums together, and like, he wouldn't even put them out. Like, it was, and I was just like, what the fuck? And like, for me, you know, I'm an Aries. So it's like, I just couldn't understand that. I'm like, I don't love anything that much to like put that much time into it, and then like nobody sees it. And so that was like what the first thing that started like kicking off my curiosity to be like, well, damn, like, I just realized I ain't got no hobbies. You know, like, it's when, especially for like, you know, I think a lot for like first generation college students, like, you don't really think about having a hobby or anything. Like, your hobby is get an internship, your hobby is get a job, you know, like, you're just always so focused on that goal. And then it's like, I got to public accounting, I reached this goal, you know, the thing that people said was impossible. And then it was like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Like, this isn't happy, I'm miserable. And then, you know, thank God I was around my ex at that time, because it really put me on this thing like, well, I want to find what I love to do. Started with reading, eventually remember writing, and then now, you know, I found my path. And so I say all that to say that, you know, if you do want to change your life, you know, it's not going to be like, I want to change my life, and it just happens. Like, you have to have fun with it. You have to play, and you have to just really focus on feeling good and doing the things that make you feel good. Okay. Angel number 2155. All right. So enough talking. That's crazy. I did all that talking off of 2 cards. Last card that came out is my favorite card. If whatever I desire, I can acquire. I'm just going to leave the bottom of this. If the time, space, reality has within it ability to inspire a desire within you, it is absolute that the time, space, reality has the ability to yield you a full and satisfying manifestation of this desire. It is law. And I'm so glad that that card came out, because honestly, that is what, for me, that's what fuels me every day. Because after I started to like really get into my writing, you know, when you first start writing a book, you think, I'm never going to have another book idea. Like, this is the only book idea I have. Like, I got to make it work and all of that good stuff. And what I realized is, like, you know, more book ideas came to me. But then also, I used to think that I wanted to just be an actress. And I realized I don't just want to be an actress, that I want to make movies. And I realized, like, more and more, it became like this kind of primal desire. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching the One Shot with, which is One Shot on HBO Max, which is an Ava DuVernay series for directors, talking about how they were able to capture the perfect shot. And she had this episode where she had Casey Lemons and at the crazy, I feel so ashamed to say this out loud, but I did not know Casey Lemons, she directed Harriet, which, anyways, which, you know, even though I don't like the lead actress, let me stop talking about, I don't even know that woman. I'm really gonna stop doing that, because I don't want nobody to do that to me. But anyway, so I loved Harriet. I felt like all these spiritual things, and then to know that Casey did it, and I was like, oh my God, of course she fucking made this movie. If you don't know Casey Lemons, or if you didn't see Harriet, she's also the director of Eve Bayou. So she's just amazing. And like, I watched it, and like, once again, that desire, that hunger, I'm like, oh my God, I want to fucking make movies. And it's like, you know, sometimes I used to, like, when I was watching Gina Jones, like, that idea made me cry, because I'm like, oh my God, like, I want to write books. And then I'm like, I'm 33. Like, do I have enough time? It's like over. Oh my God, I should have did this when I was a kid. You know, like, and you feel like I waited too late. But then I just started realizing, like, this card, like, whatever I desire, I can acquire. Like, I realized, like, I didn't go seek wanting to be a director. I didn't start off, I said I wanted to be an actress. And then I learned through the process of seeing what actors, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't got no power. You know, like I realized it's not what you think it is. You know, they may be the stars, but they have no power at all. And so like, I realized like I did not plant this desire in me. I didn't go out of my way to be like, I want to be a director. This is something that just, it must have always been in me. And then through me just playing, through me just having fun, with me just focusing on earning a living, doing what I love, this thing birthed in me. This desire was born in me. And I have to realize it's just like this car. If this time-space reality has within it the ability to inspire a desire within you, then it's guaranteed that they have to make it happen. And so I realized that God planted that in me because he wanted me to be aware, hey, this is what I see for you. This is where I see your life going. I could remember they say God has dreamed bigger than what you can even imagine. I was thinking, oh, I just want to be a little bitty actress. Oh, I want to write a little book and hopefully it can turn into a movie. Where God is like, no, bitch, you're going to make the movies. You're going to tell the stories. You're going to have this power. You're going to be, the leader over crews. And this is why I have you working in corporate America, because you need to learn how to feel confident on talking to anybody, no matter their age, their ranking, or any of that other shit. This is why I have you in these positions. And so when I realized like, oh, this isn't something that I went out of my way to find. This is a desire that God gave to me. This is a glimpse that God gave to me. If you ever get anything like that, just know it's gonna happen. And your job is not to figure it out, but just to have fun and to just groove your way into it. God, I feel like I'm getting tripped up on my words, but I feel like I've been stuck because I was trying to figure it out. How am I going to get here? How is this movie going to sell? How am I going to get this distribution deal? Oh, if I'm going to get this distribution deal, if I'm going to have this power, if I'm going to have this, be able to get this leverage, then I got to build this newsletter. And this got to be the best newsletter ever. And so it was just like, I told you guys all about how I fucked Honestly Sis up. But it's like the moment that I got it into myself that I have to be so smart and I have to figure it out. Like, honestly, the growth in Honestly Sis stopped. My newsletter was growing organically. It was just growing. I can't even tell you how it was happening because I'm trying to recreate it and I can't even make it happen. And so I say that to say, learn from me. Don't get caught up in trying to figure out, well, who gonna buy this? Who gonna invest? How I'm gonna get in the right place? Where do I need to move? I need to get a new job. Fuck all that. Don't even worry about all that. That's a waste of energy. That's God stuff. All you need to focus on is just harmonizing and syncing with that desire and knowing that you can bring this into reality. Okay? All right. I'm done. I'm not going to say another thing. We're going to go ahead and go to your work or light. We're going to go to our sacred rebels because it does feel like this is a very sacred rebelly message. I kind of just, where are we at? You know what? I'm going to keep the sacred rebel because I'm going to, I'm going to leave that. And I'm just going to give us a blessing. God, what happens if we decide from here on that we will just make play, we will make freedom, we will make love and being in harmony our number one desire? What if we know in our heart and soul that whatever we desire, we can acquire, and that it is our divine right to live a career of happy ever after? God, how would you bless our life if from now on we just sync up with earning a living, doing what we love to do? What blessing would you impart on our life if we trust you to deliver our desires? In God's name I pray, Ashe. And first of all, guys, both of these cards are here. 2 different decks, same card. Whatever I desire, I can acquire. And the essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. These are the exact same cards. If your time-space reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, it's absolute promise to you that the time-space reality has the ability to deliver in full manifestation form the desire. So it's like God is just really, I must focus on wanting in order to get wanted. I can't tell stories of shortages and experience lack. Like God is just telling you, like, you have to believe it. You have to believe that it's possible. And so I know for me, my biggest shift and like what I've really been working on is like fuck convincing other people. Let me convince myself. Let me convince myself that I'm as good of a writer as I think I am. Let me convince myself that I can actually finish this book. Let me convince myself that I can actually, be consistent, and honestly, sis, be consistent in these videos, and then just let God worry about, the investors, the followers, and all that other shit. I'm just going to focus on being the best writer that I can be. Okay? And let's see how God would impart, like, what's going to change there. God, what do you impart on our life? The card that came out is the blessings from the divine mother. A previously closed door now opens. This is a blessed and fortunate time for you. But be mindful, humble, and grounded. Feel your connection to the earth. Feel her energy and love in her heart. And know that you are eternally blessed by the divine mother. And so angel number 2955, what I take this to mean is like God is saying, remember all those times you were getting rejections, all those times you were trying to get followers, nobody was following you, all those times where you were trying to get friends and people were, that's not going to happen anymore. You're going to go the same doors you tried to walk down because you got your energy right, because you play the most important thing, because you stopped worrying about how this big dream is going to go about, and you just decided to play, have fun, and harmonize with love and what feels good for you. Every single door that you go back to, every door that I bring to you, you're going to be able to walk right on through. This is what God is saying. But right now, the reason why you can't get into it is because you're trying to mentally figure it out. Some of these doors got to be spiritually open. Okay? The other card that flew out is blessings from your soul. You are a radiant being with many unique talents. Look with eyes of love and you will see this. Feel the creative power within you and the blessings pouring in as the healing light of your soul flows into every part of you. And this is just God just saying, like, you don't have to have a degree. You don't have to know the right people. You don't have to live in LA. Like God is saying, you just have to know that you're blessed. You have to know from a soul purpose that if God planted you anywhere, then that's where you're supposed to be. You know you're supposed to be somewhere is because you're there right there. Because you're there right now. You're exactly where you're supposed to be because you're there. If you were supposed to be something else, if you were supposed to be somebody else, you would have been something else. But you're where you're supposed to be. And so what God is saying, instead of looking at the lack, instead of looking at what you don't have, I want you to focus on, I have everything I need all within me. That's your mantra for the week. I have everything that I need all within me. The very last blessing that God said he's going to put on your heart is the blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of views, for each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for a good reason. And so like God is saying right now, you may be going through a turbulent time. Things may not be feeling good, but the reason why all of these feelings are coming about is because God wants you to see you can earn a living doing what you love. You can, whatever you desire, you can acquire. He's trying to get you to see like the stories that you're telling yourself is a reflection of the life that you're living. And so if your life doesn't feel good, then God is asking you to work on what are you giving to life? How are you living your day on a day-to-day basis? If every single day you wake up and you're grumpy, or, by the time lunchtime come around, you got attitude and your day ain't going good, then you can't be, of course you're going to have an emotional storm, because that's what you're giving to the world. When you focus on feeling good, when you focus on play, when you focus on harmony, when you focus on, let me just have fucking fun, let me just find what makes me feel good, then all of those good things can come to you. All right, y'all. That is actually all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message, you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let somebody tell you what you cannot do. And number 3306, I will see you guys soon. Bye.